All right, all you good, wonderful citizens of Crypt Nation. It's Bryce here coming at you with yet another quick crypto market update. Today I wanted to talk about 5 things, and let's see if I can remember them all. But we've had a pretty interesting week, actually. So I think the main bullish sort of tailwind that we have at our backs, driving prices ultimately higher, really has a lot to do with the regulatory front. Okay, so the regulatory front, things have been pretty outstanding, actually. We had the chairman of the FDIC, Federal Depository Insurance Corporation, actually is what it stands for. The FDIC came out and basically said that they are having a plan, a roadmap, if you will, publicly for basically interacting and holding and insuring ultimately Bitcoin at national banks. And so that's a really big conversation that's just now starting. And so I'm not saying that it's already here, but the fact that these conversations are starting to be had in public discourse is really bullish. It basically means there's institutions that are leaning on the FDIC to ensure that this sort of stuff happens, right? On the back of that, you had India, who just announced that they're reversing kind of a loose ban that they had on crypto. And this ban that they had on crypto basically was like one of these things that was basically saying that people were unable to access it through banks. They're reversing that. And so that is extremely bullish. Thirdly, FATF, Financial Action Task Force. They, have been announcing that they're going to be having, regulations looming and yada, yada, yada. They just released what sort of rules that they are proposing. And they were all pretty in line with expectations. There were no screwballs. There were no hanky-panky things that people really got, that really scared the market, which is good, right? The market kind of absorbed that sort of, regulatory announcement and bounced right off, and the market's still bullish. So, fourth off, I think that one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was that I saw on Bloomberg today, there was a list of 40 ETFs, okay? 40 ETFs, all the Bitcoin futures ETFs that are lined up to be launched over the course of the next year. That's a phenomenal amount. Remember I was talking about everybody thinks, one Bitcoin ETF is so extraordinary, but that was the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, okay, 40 are basically in the pipeline to get approved, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. And fifth off, I wanted to talk about just the relationship between Ethereum and the altcoin worlds versus Bitcoin, because right now I see it as a very clear sort of sign right now that altcoins are close to being the dominant sort of force here in the market. For all of October, basically, and September, I would say, Bitcoin has been the strongest asset. I really do think that altcoins are going to be the stronger of the pair over the course of Q4 and into early Q1 of 2022. So although there is a little bit of volatility in the market right now, up and down, we're seeing, for instance, Bitcoin had a wild day, and so did a lot of altcoins, right? And so I think amongst all of that, there's some really good opportunities, and most of the opportunities are going to be in altcoin world. At least that's what I believe. And at the end of the day, you have to be able to find fundamentally strong altcoins. And if you're not already plugged into a crew or a group with research, analysis, buy zones, sell zones, take profit zones, all sorts of things like that, and also an accompaniment of fundamental analysis on what the best coins are, and research report and all that kind of stuff, newsletters. Guys, I highly encourage you guys to check out our subscription service, right? So for just $1, you can check it out for 2 weeks, okay? 2-week trial. I invite you to come and get some good information, watch some of our videos, and that's the market update.